First, I want to thank the China Democracy Party for giving me this opportunity to speak freely here. It is truly an honor. I first encountered your party in Times Square during one of your Jasmine Action rallies. I thought you were incredibly brave. Even though I only heard your slogans, I was deeply moved. That inspiration led me to visit your headquarters 2 weeks ago to discuss the future of China. However, as I sat there talking politics with your members, I realized they felt a profound sense of frustration. They felt that what they could achieve overseas are negligible. I believe they are underestimating the power of ideas. Today, the United States defends the Non-Proliferation Treaty in the Middle East, even at the cost of war. But did you know the world's first non-proliferation treaty was targeted at ideas? A key pillar of the 1815 Treaty of Vienna was to suppress the spread of French Republican ideas, liberty, equality, and fraternity. The monarchs of Europe know these ideas were lethal to the monarchy. They were right. Those ideas eventually dismantled the European monarchies with a force far greater than any nuclear weapon. So why haven't these ideas toppled the Communist Party of China? I want to address that today. During my last visit, I read your party's constitution. It is full of beautiful words and noble aspirations, but that is where it ends. I saw no discussion of actual practical problems. The Chinese people have seen enough beautiful words. The Central Propaganda Department deploys thousands of people to write beautiful words every day. Does anyone here still believe them? Writing politically correct, beautiful text is easy. Actually solving China's problem is hard. For example, your constitution calls for universal free education. I support that, of course. But do you know how much does it cost? Do you know China's annual fiscal revenue? It is roughly 21.6 trillion RMB, and every cent is already allocated. Total education spending is about 6.89 trillion RMB. To extend compulsory education through university, you might need another 2 trillion RMB, and that is a conservative estimate. Where does that money come from? Which budgets do you cut? Or do you raise taxes? We must answer these questions. More importantly, we must answer, if we were handed that 20 trillion RMB budget, how would we spend it differently than the Communist Party of China? China faces massive challenges: unemployment, healthcare, elderly care, and international pressure. None of these problems will vanish just because the Communist Party of China falls. If we do not offer viable solutions, the Chinese people would rather keep the Communist Party of China than choose us. To answer my own question, why haven't these ideas toppled the Communist Party of China? If ideas are nuclear warheads, then specific policy proposals are the missile's guidance system. Without a specific policy warhead, without a specific policy proposal, ideas are useless. I asked your member what the party's focuses are. I had 3 main pillars. 1. Seek foreign support. 2. Commenting on domestic policies. 3. Supporting the persecuted in China. They are all important, but which one is the most important? I believe it is commenting on domestic policies and offer counter-proposals. That is what it means to have a policy. Without its own specific policy proposal, what is the difference between the China Democracy Party and any other overseas dissident group? We all know how difficult it is to seek justice in China. Your website has many articles on the struggle for rights. I am sure many of you have tried to defend your rights in China and suffered for it. But let's think critically here. Have you ever put yourself in the shoes of government? Why is the system so broken? In these long lines at the petition office, there are genuine grievances and opportunities to fight corruption. But there's also hearsay and baseless claims. Verifying that data requires massive resources.
Does a petition office official have the incentives to investigate a sitting colleague and risk their career? No. It is far easier and more politically profitable to hand the petitioner over to the very person they are reporting. So what is our solution? To fix the chaos of the petition system and the culture of officials protecting one another, we need a free press, opposition parties, and an independent judiciary. We need independent bodies to vet evidence and opposition parties that gains political capital by holding the ruling party accountable. That is the only way out for the petition system. In my conversations with your members, I found they have strong stands. That is great, but I worry they don't truly understand the position that they hold. When we discuss what a new China should look like, I immediately heard shouts for a republic versus a federation. A debate broke out instantly. But when I ask what is a republic or what is a federal system, the room went silent. When I asked the difference between the federal system of the United States and Germany, there were only silence. Friends, having a stance is great, but you must understand what your stance entails. Is China Democracy Party left or right? If you say you are progressive, tell me what does the conservatives get right? If you are conservative, please tell me which problem the progressives have solved. Both sides have merits and limitations. Listen to all sides before choosing your ground. The Communist Party of China's rule is near its end, not simply because they are evil, but because they are trying to use 20th century methods designed for a population that was 85% illiterate to govern a 21st century China where 60% of young people have higher education. If overseas democratic movements have a future, that future lies in competing for parliamentary seats in China's upcoming civil society. I will leave you with a few direct words. I hear your slogans, but I don't hear your policies. I see your bravery, but I don't see your blueprint. If the Communist Party falls tomorrow, why on earth should the Chinese people vote for you?